Hi, this is Michael at TV Radio 1972, and today I am reviewing the GE 7-2800B two-way power radio. It's an AM/FM portable radio with automatic frequency control, or AFC. I bought this radio from one of the vendors at a flea market this past weekend for just $10. I saw this radio and remembered that Todderbert reviewed this radio recently, so I figured, why not buy it, give it a try, and give my take on it. Right now, I'm going to describe the dimensions. 4 7/8 inches in length, 7 7/8 inch in height, and 2 1/8 inches in depth. You have a 21-inch antenna here, and a speaker grill of 3.5 by 3 inches, so I would imagine that the speaker itself is probably between 2 and 2.5 inches. That's just my guess. Here's the front of the radio here. It has a handle on top. It has AFC here, FM 88 to 108, a log scale right below it, and there's a tuning indicator as well. Hopefully you can see it from this angle. And then AM 550 to 1600, although I can get stations between 530 and 1630, and then your G logo here. Then there's your speaker grill here, two-way power radio here. On the bottom is a couple of feet that'll hold up the radio. It'll make it stand. On the side, you have a tuning wheel here, which is very smooth. You also have a volume wheel here, which also acts as your on-off switch. Here's the back of the radio here. Information about the GE. And right down here, it was made in Singapore. You have an earphone jack, mono, single ear, left ear. And then your FM/AM switch here. Vanity case here. And then there's your battery power cord door here. And it has a hole here where you can put the power cord through to operate the radio. So it either comes with this power cord. You can either operate it that way or operate with a 9-volt battery. But by the looks of this power cord here, I don't think I'll be plugging it in. It looks a little worn out, in my opinion. And then on this side of the radio, you have your 21-inch antenna. It only goes one way, straight up. And on the top of the radio, your G logo on top of this handle. So what I'm going to do right now is turn it on and cruise the FM band.
저는 맨하탄 가요. 오늘 사실 굉장히
WNYZLP 87.75, that is the audio of TV Channel 6, that is in New York City.
was called Men in.
Not the most selective because right now 92.7 WQBU, Garden City, New York. That's 92.7 Cape Buena. I'm having trouble getting it at the moment, and I do have trouble getting that station some spots because 92.3 and 93.1 sometimes bleed over to that area. That should tell you about the selectivity of this radio, but it is a sensitive receiver. it does get your stations, but if they're not strong enough, or if your local station is too strong, it could bleed over.
$6 y vestidos y pantalones cortos a $8.
No. For 3K and pre-K teachers.
Can you come on?
I realize my need for you. It's always such a beautiful.
They're all kind of intertwined. It's
to make a difference, even though their numbers are.
Back after this.
That is an unlicensed station on 102.3.
And so I thought, I'll be real sneaky when I'm going to Prague.
Yep. This is another one on 103.1. W2768Q, Fort Lee, New Jersey. Notice there's bleed over from 102.7 and 103.5. So that tells you about the selectivity.
That's the point.
And I'm a sinner, but I try. I sorrow down.
I mean, to its credit, it has a very good sound to it. The FM sounds great on this, and it's a sensitive receiver. It just lacks in selectivity in spots unless the signal is strong enough to overcome the adjacent channels. But that is it for FM. I'll switch over to the AM. I gotta go back to the bottom. That is imaging from 1430 WNSW Newark because the transmitter is only a couple miles away from me. It's about 10,000 watts, so some of these older radios will have bleed over 900 kilohertz down. That's what that 530 you're hearing is right now. That is 540 WBWD, Islip, New York. That's about 51 miles. I'm going to try a loop. See, it reacts well to a loop, so the sensitivity is pretty good. But even the selectivity is not the greatest on AM. So I just wanted to demonstrate that.
Great night, and that's probably one of the best memories I have of him.
That's 570 WMCA. 620 WSNR.
Meet additional requirements. Visit
WFAN. 660 Sports Radio 66 101.9.
Doesn't always mean.
True or false, Linda?
710 WOR.
So I cannot tell why.
Yeah, I want opportunity to attract staff with training and interest in agriculture. Purdue has said that the move will save taxpayers
77
$20 million a year.
WABC.
It asserted, according to Politico, that the Kansas City region would allow the Department of Agriculture to increase efficiencies and effectiveness and bring important resources and manpower closer to all of our customers. He also acknowledged the state and local governments.
I
had
wanted
offered
to try
$26
something
million
with a loop,
in
and that's
incentives.
7:40 a.m.
The employees showed up to a meeting with Purdue and then turned their backs on him. Even as he said, quote, I know that you probably already know. We are announcing this morning that Kansas City region's been selected as the new home for the ERS and the NIFA. And throughout the process, I've openly construed in any way, shape, fashion, or form as a decision based on the jobs that are being done by our employees. This is a strategic long-term decision.
Yeah, 770's overpowering it, but sometimes I can get 740 both day and night with a loop, but by itself, it's not going to cut it. in my area
is for you
with
and
this
your
radio.
families, and I absolutely understand that.
U.S. Army intelligence analyst who grew
820 WNYC,
Switching is easy.
WCBS 880,
Bridenstine en una entrevista divulgada hoy por la cadena
930
de
WPAT.
televisión.
Love it, Richard. Excellent, excellent. Let's get one more call in. Let's get line 4, Todd, Columbus, Ohio. Welcome to America First.
WNYM, Hackensack, New Jersey, AM 970 The Answer.
And a 62-year-old former vice president at WeWork is suing the New York-based worksite sharing company alleging age
1010 wins.
discrimination. He says he was hired.
WEPN, New York City, ESPN Deportes.
Volatility, then diversify into Class A income-producing property units for up to 21% cash.
WBBR, New York City.
Property fund includes
1190 WLIB, New York City. WMTR, Morristown, New Jersey, that's 1250. 1280 WADO. 1330 WWRV. 1380 WKDM.
Sorry, let me sneak one last call because time is the enemy here. Matt in Rockford, Illinois. Good afternoon.
Hi, hello. Thanks for having me on.
WNSW, 1430 Newark, New Jersey, Relevant Radio. WZRC, 1480. That might be 1500.
But here's something else it's good for.
Coming in pretty good right now, that is WGHT, Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. 1560 WFME, Family Radio.
Inspirational Ministry of Family Radio. Hear the word. Family Radio. WFME, New York.
Got call letters, cool. 1600 WWRL. And it's bleeding on to 1630. That little faint noise in the background is WPYJ 708 Clifton, New Jersey, our travel information station, which is pretty much airing a dead signal and sometimes a rebroadcast of NOAA weather radio, whatever's on 162.55 megahertz. That's all I get out of 1630. And that is it. My final thoughts, AM and FM are sensitive. The audio's pretty good. I like it. It's well built, this receiver. So it can probably withstand a minor fall. So if this were to fall, it probably could withstand and not do little to no damage to the radio. So it's a solidly built receiver. But the selectivity is the problem with this. Especially if you live closer in an urban area or closer to strong stations. That's where the problem could be. That's why I decided to do a daytime band scan instead of a nighttime band scan, because this would have taken me a long time to do if I tried performing an AM nighttime band scan. It would have been a lot of trouble. But, I wanted to give you just a reception report. I did get a total of 42 stations on the FM dial, including that unlicensed station on 102.3, so a little below what a very good what a good DSP receiver does, or one of the better analog radios, but it's pretty decent. And then AM reception got about 24 stations. I needed a loop for about 3 of them, 740, 910, and 1230. Those are kind of semi-local stations about maybe 20-30 miles away. And then at night, I actually got about 38 stations and plus one with a loop. And that was Zoomer Radio 740. Like I said, I have a lot of trouble getting 740 on this radio because of that selectivity of 710 and 770. But, reception wise at night could surprise you. I mean, I actually got KXEL in Waterloo, Iowa a few nights ago, and that's about 944 miles. So, it can get you a distant station if the station signal is strong enough. And those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this review. Have a good weekend, everyone, and God bless. Bye-bye.